it's muted enough. Anyway. Alright. G'day, mate.
How's it going, brother?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to meet you, brother.
Far out. So I don't even know what to call you off the bat. Because I just know you. I know you as what you told me on the street.
Yeah, bro.
What would you like to introduce yourself as?
Either Lucy or Lux.
I think when I first saw your music online, it was Lucy.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So Lucy or Lux. Yeah, man. I've known about your music. I don't know how. I just found it. I think it was through like we were talking about the other day, the
USG YBC.
Yes, exactly that. So that's how I found your music. I found your song, It's Okay, You Can Hate Me Now.
Yeah.
That was a sick song.
Wow, that's like an old ass one. That was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, far out, man. No, I only found it a couple months ago, I think. But it's, yeah. I don't know how I found that channel either. How did you get in touch with them guys?
So through some of my mates who were messaging Shay, who's the guy who owns the channel. He was probably the goodest cunt
Yeah.
I've met in a while. I didn't meet him, but I just met him over message. But it was just through my mates. The mates were in touch with him and said, "Do you want to do some promotion?"
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, far out. So I guess music's been something you wanted to do for a while? Would you call yourself a musician or like?
Yeah, since I picked up this thing here, it was
It was love at
primary
first
school.
sight.
Bro.
Yeah, really?
Primary school. I brought my this rusty as because I only had one string, the rusty as Mahalo ukulele to school, and I'd only learnt Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
I was just playing that to all my mates.
Yeah, and they were like, yo,
just
yeah.
sound like shit, man.
Yeah.
Bing, bing. Fucking.
One string.
And then my mum was like, "What the fuck you doing with that?"
Yeah.
Can I swear on you, bro?
Yeah, of course, man. You can do whatever you want. Just be you.
Fuck yeah. And then she bought me one of these, but it was a Makala with the dolphin.
Oh yeah.
And
I
I
know.
brought that to school.
We are gonna have to keep the volume up because we unfortunately don't have a
sorry.
microphone. Yeah. Which is good. You can tap the table as much as you want, and people with headphones won't get mad.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So what you had an old rusty Mahalo back in the day with the dolphin.
Yeah.
And that was like your intro to it.
That was the start of. I just brought it to school every day up until year 10.
Yo.
I got like a few new ukuleles throughout that time, but by year 10 I was known as Lukulele at school.
Yeah, that's sick.
And just singing songs to girls at lunchtime and stuff. And first girlfriend I had, I wrote a song for her and went to her house, which is just down the road. And I said, knocked on her door and said, "This is a little song I prepared." It was Valentine's Day. It was only like 2 weeks into school, but I was like,
That's critical.
yeah, I was a bit of a romantic.
Okay, no, yeah, for sure. Good on you, man. I mean, you got the ukulele, got the skills to play it, might as well.
Yeah.
What about like sort of clocking it back a little bit further? What was like? Were there any inspirations as a kid? Like, what did you grow up listening to?
Well, my sister was a singer as well.
Oh, cool.
And so she was like a soul singer. My dad was a guitarist, and he was like Jimi Hendrix kind of guitarist. So
60s rock sort of.
Jimi Hendrix was a big one. Fucking D'Angelo. D'Angelo's definitely a big. You know D'Angelo?
I don't know why I don't know the name.
Oh man, you know Questlove?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
one of the drummers for D'Angelo.
Yeah. Okay.
It's this old ass neo soul stuff.
Oh yeah, that shit's cool.
Yeah, bro. What else? Yeah. Fuck.
Blank.
Sorry.
No, you're good, bro. So I mean, so that kind of like rock, soul. Your sister was a soul artist. Your dad was Kiwi Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know if we can say that.
It was a. I grew up in church, so. It was like a Christian kind of setting that I learnt music in.
Yeah.
So I was learning all all the instruments in the band. It was like keys, guitar, bass.
Yeah.
I didn't quite learn drums, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn that now.
Yeah, yeah. It's always good to learn.
Drums.
Yeah, I saw a photo I think on your Instagram. You with some brushes.
Yeah. Trying to learn some jazz drums.
Yeah.
But fucking that was the start of it. I just started in church, so it was.
Yeah, I feel like that's where like a lot of people from a Christian background get sort of pushed into. So not pushed into, but like that's often their first like exposure to music bands. Sometimes.
Yeah, and
did you play in the church band and stuff?
Singing songs all the time as well, like when you're in church, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And I played in the youth group bands and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I invited everyone to youth group and.
Yeah, I was like a youth leader back in the day. Like,
Hey.
yeah.
Oh, yo.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
Things are a little different now. But, yeah.
What changed, bro? What changed?
Oh, nothing really. I kind of just grew to a stage where I was kind of like, well, I've been in the church like my whole life. I don't really know anything else. Like, I'm just gonna go and kind of do my own thing for a bit. Not saying like, fuck God and fuck everything. It's just kind of like, I have no idea what's out there. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna go try to find out maybe.
Yeah. I had to work it out for myself as well. That's kind of the idea. The idea that I had was like, you got to work it out for myself.
It's just, especially I feel like coming from a Christian background, when it is all that you know, it's kind of like, you do just want to go do your own sort of explorations, or like not even that, just kind of just be yourself for a bit.
Yeah, I just thought I thought that like everything I knew that had been taught to me was from other people, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I had to go and actually learn something, and that's why I had to get out of Auckland.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So you're based down in Wellington, right?
Yeah, bro. I came down straight after high school and studied commercial music.
Cool.
At Massey.
Oh wow.
That was like it was a new course. It had like Fat Freddy's Drop, a lecturer, Shapeshifter, some Flying Nun. The record.
The record company.
label.
Nah, I'm real untitled Chapter
like
with them.
Aldous Harding. We got Aldous Harding on there. All the indie artists and stuff. The head of Flying Nun was there. And fuck.
So that was sort of like you trying to pursue somewhat of a professional career in music, or?
Yeah, I was either gonna do music or drama.
Okay.
Those are the two things that I loved. It was just performance that I loved.
Right.
Like performing in front of people. I always wanted to be a worship leader as well.
Ah, yeah.
I wanted to be
front of the stage. Come on, everyone.
I never made it to it. I remember making like fucking I remember making on Mixcraft. You know Mixcraft?
No, what's that?
It's like shitty ass.
Oh, is it one of those
ass,
online download interfaces?
It wasn't online. It was like a PC kind of version of. We had it at our school. Fuck, we had Fruit Loops at my primary school, bro.
Yeah, what the heck?
It was so buzzy. No one knew how to use it. I just listened to all the tracks. It was like preloaded tracks, and I just watched the.
Wow, that's possible.
I just watched the things go.
Yeah.
Bro.
Like it's like when someone gets a keyboard and it's like the analog one, and you can like set it to just play. You're like, like, I'll make music.
I was trying to make like electronic worship songs, bro.
Cool. Wow, that's crazy.
when I was a kid, and I tried to like show them to the worship band and stuff. And they were like.
I don't know about this one, bro. How old were you when you were doing that?
Fucking. How old was I? Fucking 15 or so.
Oh, far out. Good on you for getting into it, huh? Like, man, it's like. I remember, I know we're kind of like joking about it now, but I remember back in the day, like people that were producing from 15 or even earlier, and they were like actually producing some really cool. Oh yeah, it was like Christian music, but they were producing some really good quality music. I mean, I guess that's would you say that the church sort of style, like that you were surrounded with, or like how you were trying to create music back then, like has an influence now, or is it completely different?
Definitely. The way that the music in modern church, I feel like is very personal. Like a lot of the lyrics are like and they're all like compared to the hymns. You think about the hymns, they're all about God. It's like how great is God, and they're all talking about God. But then the modern ones were all from the individual's perspective. Like, I like love God or something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking goal.
Nah, yeah, I know what you mean. In the sense, like, this, it was like from a place of thankfulness, not a praise, sense of just worshiping this dude.
Oh, it was more from the ego, which was a buzzy thing, because I took that and, you know, you said you didn't say fuck God.
Yeah.
You didn't say fuck God. I kind of said that.
Oh yeah,
like,
just sort of like just
came out of, I did a full 180.
Yeah, right.
And just fully like, yeah, I wanted to see what it was like completely on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, yeah, it wasn't. I guess some people go to a point of like, yeah, like, fuck this, going this way.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, yeah, it wasn't really so much as like a fuck this. It's just like, oh, time for something different. I think. Like.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It's just kind of like to see what the opposite is doing. Is that what you're sort of alluding to with your music, or?
That was like Lucy was almost a reaction to that.
Right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
It was like me exploring the darkest side of myself, which was what I wasn't able to show in church.
Yeah, because you have to be.
Yeah, I had to be the most perfect person, and I was always, people say, oh, you got to be the best person you can be, or the nicest person you can be, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to be an asshole.
Yeah, okay.
But
no, I mean, shit, you can do what you want to be, you know? You can do what you want to do.
I'm not currently subscribed to that. I've left behind Lucy recently.
Okay.
That idea, but I took about 3 years to work that out.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as you're conscious about it, right? And sort of acknowledging what you're going through and understand as the best as you can. Yeah, I mean, would you say it's a good thing that you've turned over, like, sort of, not turned over, but, like, have acknowledged that part is over?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's like, Lucy for me is bringer of light.
Right.
And then Lux is just light.
Yeah.
Just simply light.
Lux, yeah.
But bringer of light is the bringer of truth. And then light is truth. So I'm just simplified it now. It's just truth. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Just Lux or Luke?
Just Lux, yeah.
Yeah, Lux. Right.
But I was known for so long as Lucy. Yeah, it was pretty buzzy.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's.
What do you have to say to anyone that may be still hanging on to Lucy?
Oh, it's still part of me. Yeah, it's definitely still part of me. Like, what I realized is that was as far as I went into it. Have you heard Carl Jung?
Who?
Carl Jung, the psychologist.
No, sorry.
He talks about the shadow self, the side of yourself that you don't see, and the side that you'd rather not show other people, like the worst parts of yourself, and that's your shadow. That's all your worst impulses, and that's basically what overtook me for that time. It was like,
right.
I was exploring that darkest side of humanity, essentially.
Mm.
And Carl Jung says that if you don't understand that your shadow is something that can be like completely destructive, it's like holding a weapon and denying that it's there.
Right.
And so at any moment it could just pop off, and you go, oh fuck, I didn't know this was there, fucking. But if you
it's so funny with the analogy. I mean, oh, what the fuck?
But people that are in denial of the darkest side, they say, oh, I'm a nice person, but really, everyone's not just a nice person,
There's like levels in this deeper. Like you said, everyone has a shadow, I guess. Mm. And I guess, like what you're saying, now you're more aware, like you're not accepting. What's the word, I guess? I've
integrated that. So Carl Jung says if you don't integrate your shadow self with your conscious self, then you're not a complete human being. Because when you have that weapon, then its capability, you can hold it, and you can actually, you can get to know it, you can use it when you need to, but you know when, you know.
Right, you understand it's there. Like it's like the like knowledge is power in the sense of like people can be scared, very scared of like swords, but then like a master of a sword understands how deadly it is, and understands how important it is to use it and not use it.
Yeah. And like, oh, fucking, I want to do some martial arts, say I'm doing martial arts or something there.
But I guess that's your development from Lucy, Lux to now Lux?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And I think it's interesting how you said that that wasn't just a cap on your life, I think it's still something you carry with you. I guess moving forward into also just touching back on your inspiration, you have a very, very unique sound. Like it's very raw, it's very just you and your instrument of choice, or like you and the beat, it's very, very I don't know, it's very airy, it's very, I don't want to say simple, but you know what I mean, it's very stripped down.
Yeah. Very
stripped down. Was that sort of a lot of the look you're going for?
That was like, it was just me and the Blue Yeti that I had at the time.
Yeah.
I just had it in my room, and that was just me in my room, just like just writing down my thoughts, and they were like, sometimes it was in pretty horrible times, like breakups or something, so I'd just be like in a fucking state, come home in a state after town or something, after going to my mate's place, and then just like stay up the rest of the night, just like screaming the house down.
Yeah, right. And just recording. Fucking hell, man. I mean, that's what would be your process to sort of shadow it now? Like, what's your process compared to that now?
I start with the music now. I like to express with the music before I express with lyrics, because I found that I do love writing lyrics, but sometimes words don't capture emotion perfectly. You know, that you can't define an emotion with just words, and so like
it's a feeling.
Yeah, and music just expresses stuff that you can't actually express through words.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, man. No, I understand. Yeah, it's. I just wanted to say you do have a very unique style, especially like from that song. Even like however many years ago that song was.
Yeah.
Like I was just kind of thinking through some of the lyrics from that song just then. I was just kind of like, man.
That's pretty fucking. It was pretty like resentful time. I was like, it's a whole lot of pretty angry emotions, and I didn't.
They sounded also very like internally focused as well.
I didn't really let them. I kind of just let them like happen. I just like I would almost get possessed by. Yeah, I would get possessed by my shit. So where it would come out.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. and then the rest of the time I would be the nicest guy, but I wouldn't make that. That was pretty buzzy. It was like it was a duality.
Yeah, right.
It was a duality. Sure. My music was
Yeah, I feel like that's something that can happen. You can lose yourself, but then once you acknowledge what's like happened or what's been going on, like you can actually understand it and move according to plan with that one. Like you said, because then it happens, you're like, what the shit? And it's like you can either choose to acknowledge it, or you can choose to be like, no, it's nothing. Just put your hand back in your pocket. And yeah, so the real change sort of happens when you start acknowledging it. I guess moving forward, so that was, I guess, somewhat a good like recap. So you grew up in Auckland, moved down to Welly, did uni.
Yep.
And then so what happened after uni? Sort of like just trying to continue on with the music thing, or like.
I kept going there. I kept going with just making tunes with my friends. Like that was the main thing that was real fun about it. It was the connections I made throughout that time.
That's good.
It's like teaching other people as well. I taught a few of my friends.
Ukulele or like music?
No, how to write.
Oh, right.
I taught them how to write the way that I did, or kind of introduced them to the way that I was processing my emotions, because I think it is a very healthy thing to get out those kind of emotions. And so my friends who were struggling with their health or mental health, I just said, should we write a song?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
right.
write a song about it, you know, and then at least you got it on page, you know. At least we got it out.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like that's something. I mean, I feel like a lot of people could relate to. You know, not being able to fully like. I feel like this. Like some people have a very great ability to be. I feel like this. Bam. Like on the table. Out. Like. And then some other people like myself. Like I find it really hard sometimes just to be like. I feel like this because this, and this, and sometimes it's just easier just to scream or just to say or to get that out.
Yeah.
Through like music or through just sound like some people it's just not even a word, it's just a scream. Yeah, I feel like I think that's good. Like how many people have you sort of sat down and like is it just friends or?
Yeah, just friends or like I was in the first collective I was in, which was year 2, year 2 of uni.
I thought you mean like year 2. I'm like wow, really getting
Jesus,
into it early. Like year 2, 7 years old, got your big boy pants on, like yeah, let's go. Alright. on the windows, like FL. Like you said.
I did FL, but oh holy shit.
So year 2 of uni, right?
What was that, bro?
It was year 2 of uni, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
it was called Dusty World, and it was like it was a collection of friends that just all hung out at the same flat. We were all just waiting for a blaze. And then we just ended up making music in the meantime.
And the music was just a way to pass the time, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
I was making like my kind of music, and then there was some people making like drum and bass shit, like DJ shit.
You would love that
and
shit.
Some people making metal. Like it was a buzzy collective, but we all came together to make something pretty crazy.
Yeah. That is a very like wide. Is there any people you want to shout out? Like.
Shout out Sada Hector. Shout out Dara or Vites. Shout out Ben J Min. Shout out Yaku. Fucking holy shit, so many people.
Yeah, I mean, we can tap back to that later. But so that was your first like, we're making music together kind of thing. No, I just keep wanting to grab this. And, like, there's no playing, nothing's going on. So that was your first collective, like, we make music together, sort of.
Yeah.
What was how long was that tenure? Like, was it a couple weeks, months? Like.
It was like a year or so.
Oh wow,
that
cool.
Last day, then we did like one show, or like we put on like four shows or so, but we only had one show all together.
Yeah.
At Valhalla.
Right.
That was mad as.
That place is the spot, huh?
Yeah. Definitely. That was like, oh man. But what we used to do was just like we'd stand outside. Everyone, we'd have a bell at the door, and we'd ring the doorbell, and then everyone knew it was time for a blaze.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Ding dong,
Everyone's like, fuck! Grab the lighters.
We walked outside and stood in a circle and just like started to freestyle over whatever beats were playing.
That's cool.
And so I encourage everybody, even if they weren't like vocalists, I'd just be like, yo, surely you with the boys, you know?
Yeah. That's cool. Like really creating an open environment for everyone to like sort of just have their spot.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man. I mean, was that sort of your, like, how did you feel like in that group? Was that your sort of position? Like, were you the one driving everything, or were you just the guy just having a good time?
There wasn't really too many people driving it. It was like we were all pretty blazed. It was like that was the main thing. The main problem was like, what are we doing?
We're pretty high, so
who's in control of this?
Yeah, right.
But
learning experience from that sort of situation.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
Just like seeing how people collaborated. Yeah, I made lots of friends there. Collaborated with heaps of people, and collaboration has been like probably the most exciting thing I've had throughout that. I always thought about collaboration as like sharing a philosophy.
Two energies coming together.
Yeah, two philosophies trying to have a conversation between themselves, and I was coming up against a whole lot of people who were I'd never met them before, but we were getting to know each other through this music. which was some pretty crazy interactions.
For sure, man. I mean, how like so that was your first collective? Like, was that like your first solid collective? Like, how long ago was that actually, sir?
That was 2017 to 2018.
Okay, and so within, so that was 2017 was after uni, was it? Oh, it was year 2 of uni.
Yep.
So, okay, and so would you say like your collaborative, the points of collaboration that you experienced like from 2018, like after the group, like did it go up or like was it kind of just plateauing like, oh yeah, maybe make one track with this guy or like yeah, like or did you really just pursue it?
I definitely was pursuing it in my own way. It was like I didn't want to promote any of my music. I think it was because of the content. The content was so buzzy to me because it was like my diary, and I was like, should people listen to this? You know, like,
Yeah.
should people be listening to all this shit that I'm writing?
I mean, that's a note in itself. It's like your music, especially that. Like I keep referring back to that one song. It was such a personal like song. Like
yeah,
it was really like it didn't go through any filters. Like it didn't. I mean, not that I could feel like it felt so raw.
yeah.
I feel like that's an aspect in itself. Like when you were saying before, like putting your energy into a song, again putting your emotion into a song.
Yeah.
Like there's an emotional transaction for the listener and yourself. Would you say, yeah? Like, did it make you feel quite uncomfortable being like, man, these are like my personal thoughts?
I didn't have at first it was like I thought it was just for me, you know, and it was like I didn't care whether it got big or anything, like it just because I needed that for me, like it was my process of just processing my emotions, and that was all it needed to be. And so I was like, fuck, I don't really care if this gets off the ground or whatever, or about getting famous, or like there's some people that came into the collective at the end that were quite focused on fame and shit. You know?
Right. That's what
I
I was
just,
kind of.
I don't know. I just didn't really. I don't know.
That wasn't the like you weren't. That's not something you were pursuing. You were more pursuing like that whole collaboration aspect of things.
Or the reason for the music was like healing.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't for any kind of profit.
Yeah.
And I think when you're making music for a certain reason, you know, it shows. And some of the dudes that came in at the end, because it was just like hangers on, because we got so kind of well known around in a few circles, and then people started to just show up to this flat that we were all staying at. We're like, what the fuck is this dude just sleeping on the couch?
Just random old mate Bob. Just, yeah, I got a SoundCloud. Heard you guys were sessioning.
It became like almost like just more than we could handle it, and then it was just heaps of hangers on. And
that's kind of when it sort of started fizzling out.
Yeah, and then some people would be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in the collective, and I'd be like, bro, we didn't have a conversation about this. What's going on?
Fuck. That's kind of.
But that's just like young, we were just young as, you know.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sense of like making music and getting a little bit of attention.
Yeah, for sure. When was sort of the next point after that where you felt like you got another, I don't know, spike in like not attention but like a bit more notoriety, like in a sense? Or like I guess better question. When was the next sort of collective or group after that?
Oh yeah, it was 2018. The end of 2018, we had this massive bender.
So it's a good way to kick things off.
And it was New Year's, and it was Neversoft. Have you heard Neversoft? No.
Sorry, man. I'm so out of touch with like so much stuff with music.
No,
that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Wellington known, but yeah, and that went for like up until like halfway around last year.
Oh wow, okay.
It's like kind of like, yeah, well it's still kind of going, but yeah, that was a few of my mates from we just got from that bender, but we just meet up every Sunday and just like play beats and stuff, and make music.
Just collaborate. Just come together.
Chronic Snowman?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
cool.
So he was a big what do you call it? Influence in the group. Was like almost put together a lot of the shows. And Young Ghost, Young Ghost.
I think I know the name. I know exactly. There's all like the bunch of like underground New Zealand rappers that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know a bunch of their names, but I'm not super duper familiar with them. Like I know Chronic Snowman's from New Plymouth.
Oh no, he's from Wellington. Bro.
Oh shit. Okay, right. Fuck.
I was like, is he?
Nah, yeah. Okay, I got all my wires crossed, but I know him.
Yeah, bro. But those bros were like it was a whole nother level of like and we were all making rap, so it was like it was all like rap artists, and then we also had artists that were some of them were doing like graph and stuff, but yeah, it was like almost like an art side of the collective as well.
That's cool.
And they would help do like idea was that they would help do the artwork and stuff.
That's dope.
But yeah, that was a while ago. Old memories.
Happy memories, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Quite a bit of benders, and we'd just like it was almost the moment where I met a whole lot of people that were like minded, and were making the same type of music. So we would all go on benders and then make like tracks together. Over like a weekend or something, just make heaps of tracks, just writing verses in the bros' room, just smoking cones and all.
Yeah.
Fucking nice as.
Yeah, so like fond memories of that kind of, that collective, that sort of experience that, I don't know what to call it. I feel like they have so many names. That experience, yeah. Oh, weird. What's going on?
Oh, weird.
Bro, it's so good. We can smack the table around, touch it, don't have to worry about the mic picking everything up.
So, yeah.
No, you're good, bro.
For the old,
I guess so. Would you say that's somewhat of a recap of what you've been up to, like the last 5 years?
Oh, yeah, probably.
What are some other things you'd like to highlight? I mean, because you've talked about your collaborations and the sort of groups you've been involved with. What about your solo stuff? So I know, like I said, the first song I heard you do was a solo song.
Yep.
What's with your solo development? What's been really going on?
Recently, I'm trying to write songs. Write songs just with my ukulele or guitar. Write songs acoustically, and I just moved in the start of the year with a whole lot of friends from Dusty World Collective.
Okay.
So I kind of went.
That's kind of cool.
It's kind of like 2.0.
Yeah, right. Yeah, revamping sort of.
Yeah, and we just jamming out. Like we got the drums in the lounge.
Yeah.
We got a bro who makes like kind of ill sweatshirt stuff.
Cool.
And like samples records.
Yeah, who's
so
that?
I'm trying to. His name's Fizzy Fred.
Yeah.
It's Fireby, and it's my Salmon Uso.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just jamming out, making tunes.
Do you reckon so we're going to be expecting some more stuff from you guys soon, or?
Yeah, well, I want to play shows there. That's just like, I realized that when I was on stage by myself, it wasn't that funny.
Yeah, it's more fun having someone around you, right?
It's like I wanna be if I wanna be at a festival like playing to millions of people, I don't want to just be by myself.
You and your ukulele.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that. My ukulele, I can go anywhere with my ukulele.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
But in the sense of like you rapping and you and a mic, like you'd rather have an ensemble.
Rather have all my bros next to me, you know,
yeah,
and turn around and be like, yo,
yeah.
we're fucking on stage, bro.
Yeah, right. Sort of sharing the experience. Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm trying to move my music from being like less digital, like, because I made so many like tracks where it's just like I bring up Logic, there's the beat, or I've
distortion
made the beat already, chuck on the vocal tracks, chuck on auto-tune, fucking distortion, reverb. all the shit. Oh, I fucking love distortion.
Yeah, it's fun. Just get
Fucking love
crunchy ass.
distortion, man. Can you put some distortion on this audio?
Oh, bro, don't worry, it'll be distorted. Like just make it clip really hard. Eh? No, usually with the mic, I have to worry about it so much with being distorted. But yeah, man. I mean, from the sounds of it, man, it just sounds like you're just trying to have fun. Like you're loving having creative aspect of getting around other people, bringing other energies together. Like, I guess what's next for the future? You want to do more shows? You want to have your bros around you on stage? You don't mind being you and your ukulele? So we're probably even expecting some more stuff like that.
Yeah, ukulele shit. I know this album I want to make for my mom. That's like, it needs to be an album that my mom can listen to, because
that's cool.
She can't listen to my music right now because she got Spotify and she turns off explicit stuff. So she can only see like 2 of my songs.
Yeah, right. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, have something mom can enjoy.
I wanted to be able to show her friends and stuff, and then they save it, and then...
And not just be like, I have to mute this. Oh. Like kind of be like, enjoy, sit down and enjoy it, you know?
I think that's the music to me that'll mean the most. Like I was making music for myself at the start, you know? It was just to get out all that shit. But now that I got out of that shit, I'm going to start making it for a different reason.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's good. Like, to have an idea and have like what you want to do and what you want to produce, which is something for your mom. Like, I feel like that's, I mean, what's someone gonna say? That's a dumb idea. Like, no, I think that's cool. Like, if you've got direction and you're not forcing it upon yourself, like, I have to make more tracks. Like, if it's just happening and it's organic and you're collaborating, like, I think honestly that's positive. Like, I'm Jimmy Sunshine. I'm here for anything positive, really.
Sunshine.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hence the yellow hat today. Yeah. No, I love the idea of sunshine. I love the idea of yin and yang too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. I got fucking.
Yeah, that's fire.
Old yin and yang, bro. Fucking Taoism is my favorite religion name. And now I came out of the lockdown with a bit of Taoism. Do you know Taoism?
No, I'm just listening.
That's what the yin yang's from.
Oh, okay.
That's where the symbol comes from. the Tao is the like life force, or like Tao is God. In the Taoist religion. And
it's real funny. I like watch this cartoon and it's called Miraculous.
Yeah.
My girlfriend watched it and we it's so funny. Even that show has got light and darkness in it, and like just the whole balance of things. Like when things are the way they are, and like, you know, for a reason. And there's yin. I don't know. It's just, I feel like the whole. I don't know. I just like the idea of yin and yang, and just like positivity being the trumping force. Even though like darkness can take over.
Positivity. It's not actually about one or the other. The yin and yang.
They keep keeping each other in check.
It's like, they both spin. Like if you imagine the yin and yang.
Yeah.
They're both
like
good and bad are just spinning. But in the Taoist religion, it says you shouldn't be invested in either one, either the good or the bad, because then you get spun around.
Facts, right.
But the safest place to be, or the best place to be, is in the center.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that's cool. Damn. There you go. A bit of fucking insight. That's so cool. Yeah. We're gonna have to almost do another sit down just on that in itself.
Taoism, bro. I fucking love it. I like philosophy has been the main thing that is been through the music I've been trying to express is an exploration of philosophy, and through collaborating with my friends, like sometimes they'll have real like horrible lives, you know, and they're talking about them, and I almost feel their pain through the music.
Yeah.
And I can hear their philosophy, but I offer my philosophy as well when we're collaborating. I'm trying to shed some light on it, or at least, you know,
come together in a sense, though.
Yeah, and fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, not much more needs to be said on that. I mean, like, the music speaks for itself at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I don't like to talk too much about it, but it's
real. It's real, and you feel it, and especially in the music. Like,
it always buzzing me out though, because I don't think that I really, like, as much as I say that I did this and I did this, it's not really me that's creating the music. It's something coming from above.
It's through you.
That's going through me, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have any control over that, over whatever it is. But all I can do is open myself up to it.
Exactly, man. Sort of tap into it.
Yeah.
Just plug in.
And be open to be molded, or to be like when I'm writing is I started to write write all my thoughts in the morning instead of writing them into songs now. Because I used to just write all my thoughts into songs, and it'd be like all the worst thoughts I had and shit.
Yeah, right.
Fuck my ex-girlfriend or some shit.
Yeah, right. Just negative, just like shit that's just...
Well, like, it's all the shit that weighs on you when you don't let it out. You know, when you don't take the time to let it out. But now, every morning I take a page and just write.
That's good.
And I don't censor myself. I just go, like, whatever the fuck comes to my head. And that's actually that's like freeing for me. Yeah, I don't feel like that anymore. Like, because the confusing thing was that all this music as kind of fuck.
No, go into it, bro. I mean, this is what this platform is for. Expressing you and how you feel about your music. You know, it's not about me just having a nice chat with someone.
No, it's really about that as well.
No, I mean, it's about that, but it's like mainly about like bringing people on that I think are cool and just being like, yo, like taking them and being like, okay, now look at, like, this is them, like, this is you, like, this is just you telling whoever's watching, whatever, how you feel and what you think about your music and why. Because no one, that's the thing, like, as much as you get an inside feel and look into the person, like, with their music, especially with your, like, kind of music written from your, like, heart, you get a really in-depth look, but you don't get the further context behind it. So, man, that's what I mean, like, go into it. Like, I'm not here to cut off.
The music that's, like, that I was expressing was, like, it was one side of my conscience. And now that I've got all that shit out, it's time for another age of my creativity, which is
sort of was alluded to by your change of name.
Yeah. And that's almost like a bit of a flip, and I just I saw the effect of my music to some degree on.
No, so you see what you were like seeing, like an effect had on people, or like...
Yeah, it just buzzed me out that people were dancing to my, like, darkest thoughts.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, bro. Did you, I'm fucking depressed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when you spell it out like that, yeah, I know what you're saying.
But, like, I mean, that happens with a lot of artists, you know, like a Lil Peep, you know? Like,
yeah, man, I mean, he was a huge influence on
all his music is, you know, is that feeling of like hopelessness or loneliness or nihilism, you know?
Upset, depressed, everything.
Yeah.
It is all negative.
I just wanted to change the effect that I had on people, because
I mean,
I know that if I went further down that road of keeping my negative thoughts, like putting them out, and it wouldn't go well, you know. I wouldn't be being true to myself.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing you can do as an artist. It's not, of course not. I feel like it's something that you should do. You know, like just keeping it true to yourself. As much as people might be like, oh, like I remember when you were depressed, preferred that. You know, like it's kind of like, whoa, like this is just me. Like, I guess people could say, like with X, like he was I think he went through a similar thing where he realized, you know, like I've sort of got all this dark, depressed shit, and then came out with an album, like and then wanted to just spread heaps of love, you know.
Yeah, it's like I just conscious now of all the shit that I do, because I was just doing it for myself when it was all the depression. It was just for myself, but now that I've flipped it, I see all my friends around me. I want them to be making music with me, and I want us to be going up rather than going down, because that was what it looked like in the collective that we had,
Just making
we all
music
kind of spiraled down along with the music, and you could see it in the music happening. Like you could see like mental states deteriorating through people's verses. You could hear it, you know. You could say, "Oh shit, this, it's still going through it."
But that's when it becomes also a fine line between keeping it real and like if you were still depressed or still going through dark shit, like obviously you'd probably still be making music along that like line.
I just stopped wanting to, because I think the more I talked about it, the more it made it a thing.
Right,
So it's
manifesting
like,
itself.
how does that work? Because being real is, being real, and then there's like
Also creating it.
creating your own reality.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
creating your own reality, and the more that I tapped into that, to letting out that, it was like, fuck, I think this shit is actually creating itself to some degree, and I have a part in it, and I can actually change my part in it.
Right.
I have more power than I thought. Like I
That's
thought I was helpless to it, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be helpless to it.
It's like the weapon. If you're not aware of it,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah.
And it just goes off, and then you're like, shit, I'm making, I understand what you're saying. I can't express with words what I think you're saying, but I feel like I understand. Like, you didn't like the impact it was having on yourself and possibly on others.
Yeah.
I guess, and also if you're not, just it's never bad to take a turn, just try something else, or just, just making positive music isn't a bad thing, or whatever you want to do next.
I don't even know if it's going to be positive, but I haven't written out anything yet.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, just the change in scenery, just sort of like changing it up, maybe just seeing, rather than maybe manifesting or writing yourself into a box.
That's like a
Just
different part of my conscience, and
just being you.
yeah, it's
Fuck to being that, bro, like, it's like cheers,
Cheers, brother. Do you want some vodka?
No, I'm chilling right now, bro, but on that note, is there anything else you want to cap off? Anything else you want to like tap into or like sort of say before we sort of close this thing up?
Yes.
Also, thank you so much for coming, man. Like I literally just saw you on Saturday.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I was like, you were just like finished singing, or we're just going back. I was like, yo, hey, I'm Jimmy Sunshine, nice to meet you. Like, yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to cap off?
No, that was just check out Jimmy Sunshine. Spreading the sunshine, there's fucking mad-ass vibes, bro.
No, bro, thank you for coming through, man. Honestly, it's just been so, you've been so easy to talk to, so easy to just, like I just came, literally was just a random dude off the street that asked if you just wanted to do a podcast or an interview. You were like, yeah, yo, here's my number. And then we teed it up, man. No, it was easy, thank you. Alright, bro, fuck. I was mad, I wasn't scared.
Nah, bro.
I feel like some people think this shit's